just don't know what's going to happen because we've got so many champions that have been fearlessly banned away now that we could get some really wacky stuff in this particular game.
Yeah, we have now moved to first pick really being prioritized. With game 2 and 3, it was second pick. Now teams are like, no, we want first pick again. And a lot of weight has been put on second pick to do the heavy lifting in terms of banning away the OPs.
Yeah.
But, you know, with Malphite now taking out the equation, it's kind of Jace
or bust.
Jace is a big one, Varus is a big one, and Rumble's a big one. So
oh yes, the Rumble.
I think the expectation is kind of that DRX will have to ban all 3 of those, because if I'm Bro, I'm not banning any of those. I'm like, you take them.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing right now. As the Lucian going to be the first one taken away. So Rumble definitely needing to be banned. I think that is the highest priority. Champion has been pretty ridiculous.
And then what are you looking to get in terms of first pick? You know, the Corki's been thrown around as a ban. So
oh, that's a good one.
Maybe that's something you could prioritize as a first pick even, or look to ban or see if he gets through. That's a question mark. LeBlanc coming through as a ban.
I think Roma was just like, you know what? This made me really sad last week, so let's just not do it. The week before last, sorry.
There was that Zoe ban that came out from DRX, so maybe they want to get their hands on a Zoe.
Could be an angle.
LeBlanc can be a difficult matchup for Zoe. And we've seen Zoe late in Fearless just be very hard to deal with. There is that Corki ban coming through.
Huh.
So Varus is now the ban for DRX.
So, I mean, the other thing that was banned in the last game was Poppy. I think the Varus was extraordinarily obvious, but is the Poppy a first pick?
It's a great pick for Gideon, but it's also a flex. So, but the thing is, it's good into champions with dashes. There's a lot of champions with dashes, but bold to go
blind quickly. Zoe first pick for Roma.
This is what I was thinking with the LeBlanc being banned, that it could make sense. So we've seen a lot of Zoes, again, deep in Fearless, be really effective. And with a lot of the mid-pool thinned out, what are you going to play into this?
I think that's kind of crazy about the Zoe as, oh dear, this could be, this could theoretically be Wolf's worst nightmare. As the Zoe, like, it thrives in compositions that are just chaos, you know? As we could have a very weird sort of situation here, but the Syndra will be locked in. Nautilus now for Andil. Possible angle here, unless the Willow wants to take it into the jungle, Raptor style. But I highly doubt that, although there are a lot of jungles that have been taken away. There's a lot of things that we have to look at as far as the things that have been overlooked in this series. As far as the bans are concerned, we haven't really let anything stand out, as of course the Rumble, Jace, Varus, and Corki have all been banned away once again. But Gideon could hop onto his Poppy now. It isn't necessarily the most value into a Syndra, but Nautilus can have a frustrating time into the champion.
You know, honestly, I'm just thinking, I remember there was that Zoe Nocturne composition that KT played against.
Oh, true.
Gen G last year in playoffs. Something like that could be a little bit scary. They're just going to go with the Rels, so a trade of engaged supports comes through. Not something we're too unfamiliar with.
Yeah, and support sort of handshake as well.
Yeah, this is interesting. Maybe... Oh, they are going the Zoe Nocturne.
All right. Gideon gonna lock that one away.
Yeah,
let's see whether there's an answer for DRX.
If you land the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, you have the follow-up, right? You just pop the ult and you zoom on in. A lot of threat onto, I mean, anyone who gets hit by the bubble, essentially. Okay. And G-Wheel's like, I am standing 8 miles away from anything. I am not coming near. I'm standing behind my front line. I'm not going to get hit by a bubble. I'm playing Jhin. Have fun.
Yep.
Also something with a stronger lane, so... with a lot of 80 carries already taken away, begs the question, what's going to be picked up? I do want to mention, when they played the Zoe Nocturne, there was a Ziggs with it as well, I believe. So maybe a Ziggs ban comes through.
I'd hope so. I think that one would definitely work very, very well, especially if casting is going to be playing something with a little bit of AD towards that top side of the map. Aatrox still available. There are a few things that can still definitely do a fair bit of damage coming out of the top side. As Kennen going to be taken away. That is one of those. But Renekton, Ambessa, Zahan, like all of these champs already being taken away here.
Yeah, what stands out to me in the top lane that's left open is Rek'Sai.
Oh, that's a good point.
We've had
and
some...
Sion as well.
Yeah, actually, a lot of the tanks have kind of been left open. But I feel like Rek'Sai is kind of, you know, he's really solid in lane, and then you get to late game, and he's actually... She gets late game, sorry. She actually has been kind of popping off, especially when she's got gold in the pocket. It's just been really hard to deal with, really hard to kill, especially a composition like DRX is. Or even, I mean, depending on what AD carry Bro has, if you just don't have the sustained damage, so hard to cut through a Rek'Sai. So difficult to cut through. So maybe that comes in as something as a priority.
I think it'd be a good idea for Rich, because otherwise you're picking Blind Sion or something like that. Instead, it will be the Aatrox. I like this as well.
Yeah, they did give a slight buff to the heal on his passive. He also has a bit more damage to jungle monsters, so this could actually be a jungle Aatrox, not necessarily top lane.
Oh,
He's already been played in jungle, so this is a flex here, which I think is a good pickup in this situation when you don't know the top matchup.
You also, like, you don't know the support matchup, technically. So this is a lot of weird stuff that could be flexed around.
True.
Tristana being the hover right now for Teddy, who is well into the depths of his champion pool at this point in time. Oh my goodness, there are 2 AD carries.
Yeah, so wanting some sustained damage in the Tristana, which makes sense. We did see the Ziggs before, but I think having some sustained damage and reset potential on Tristana makes a lot of sense.
What if, wait, what if they do the flex? They lock in the Vayne, and we get like something wacky like Vayne versus Akshan or something in the top lane. It would be crazy. Instead, it's Sion.
Yeah,
wow, that's way less exciting.
I didn't expect the Vayne, because we've seen Vayne into Aatrox before. There was a hilarious game where Keen got rolled by Zeus.
Yeah.
But the reason I definitely didn't expect it was because we didn't even know if it's Aatrox top.
Yeah.
So it would be super risky to pick that here. They're just going to go for the Sion. Is it just going to be the Xante? It looks like that might just be it. And Game 5, the game where you expect everything to be crazy, wacky, off the rails. Honestly, we get...
the wet noodle fight in the top lane.
We get compositions where nothing's that crazy. You know, we get a little callback to a composition that KT ran against Gen G with the Zoe Nocturne. We get Aatrox jungle, which was buffed on this patch, to have a little bit of a faster clear, a bit more damage to monsters, and the passive is a little bit stronger. Other than that, though, these are just some fairly lower priority for sure, but normal picks.
Yeah. And on the side of the Bros, I think they do definitely have the damage advantage. Even though, you know, there's a higher damage tank on the side of DRX, I think that Jhin is going to get outscaled by the Tristana by a decent margin. I think a lot of this is going to come down to how well Yukal does in this matchup against the Zoe, which is what this whole composition from the Bros has been built around. This is a Broma composition. As Wadid and Dagon, are we okay, guys? What went wrong, everyone? Are the lights too bright? Perhaps we need the glasses back on again. But we can see that Dagon not exactly too psyched about it, but I'm not feeling like the Bros are out of it just yet. Coming out of this draft, how are you feeling, Ox?
I think there's definitely potential, right? We've seen Zoe take over games before. It's going to come down to Roma.
Yep. Let's get into game number 5. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Onto the riff for the final game of the series. And we made it to game number 5. And now we have guaranteed predictors getting it correct.
Guaranteed?
Guaranteed. Demacia Teed.
Demacia Teed.
I think Garen's name is actually Demacia as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know how I was saying all of his buttons into Demacia? I think
makes
his
sense.
name turns into
Do you say it when you lock him in?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Every single time.
Yeah, the thing with the Aatrox is he was already seeing play and was already fine, you know, having some decent games. Again, it wasn't a ton, but there was some play before.
I mean, the Kanavi game was ridiculous until they lost.
What a great sell.
Yeah, I needed to do that.
But he got, like, decent buffs. Like, the bonus damage on his Q to monsters got pretty sizably increased now, so his clear should be a good amount faster.
Oh, no. Did you see Ju just reloading, like, all over the lane? It was just so much reloading.
Just typical Jhin thing.
Oh, no.
So I'm kind of excited to see what the Aatrox can do in a game like this, especially because I don't think Bro have that much damage to really cut through him, right? And there's a lot of melee champions who kind of have to come into him.
Oh, that's a cool little hook. Tower shot, but Andil does have the aftershock. Wait, someone just cashed in DRX tax. You're not allowed to do that.
Whoa.
That's crazy. Wait, maybe you can do that. Maybe I'm just learning now that everyone can collect the tax.
Wait, but if Bro don't have that advantage, how? The Bro fans needed really
Yeah,
hard
I was gonna
now.
say, like, I was pretty sure this was like, it's reserved for the Bros, but apparently not. Okay, well, DRX tax being taken out. Maybe we're gonna need some more possible things to spend our channel points on. All right, we'll see whether we can get onto that. That's crazy. All right, well, I'm reeling. As Willa, he's clearing his jungle. And that is going to be done pretty soon here. Finishing off on the Krugs.
Yeah, they do have bot prio, so it looks like they're going to try and secure this Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, there is a rotation over from Roma potentially.
I'm concerned about that. Don't mess with the Zoe.
Yeah, the Trouble Bubble can really make things difficult in this early stage. As there's the flash crash down from Namgung. Flash out immediately from Jiu, who does get the Deadly Flourish, and Willa is popping off. Flash out from Teddy, though. That is going to get him to safety, but Willa going to be going down. First Blood goes over to the Nocturne, and the Bros are going to augment that with a grab as well.
I mean, just good confidence from Namgung to go for them in the brush, but also in those early fights, when Zoe has first move, you can't continue them because she's going to have so many summoners to pick up. So even if you found a way to turn that around, it's just such a massive advantage having a Zoe on your team when everyone is going into it fresh summons. Because you look at, you know, there was one flash from Jiru, which was picked up by Roma, but if they committed to try and make that more, there'd be like 3-4 flashes available over the course of the fight. Willa, there is 3 people there.
There's a lot of bad guys. Gideon does save the spell shield for the last Q, and Willa just walks on in and smites that one away. Okay, Trouble Bubble going to connect onto the Aatrox.
Okay, well, he picked up the Scuttle Crab, so I think he's happy with what he got, and he'll just continue back. But one nice thing for Gideon, I often talk about, well, we'll see the replay of this first, but they won an award, you know, didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And just the Q flash as well meant they couldn't react to it. Flashing after, G already takes so much damage. Teddy nearly goes down, but able to survive, and Willa just ends up in the middle of the mixer. But I often talk about Ultimate Hunter, and so like getting a good ult off as Nocturne, you get Ultimate Hunter, means your next ult is a lower cooldown. The fact he already has a Ultimate Hunter stack pre-6 means that he gets his first ult is going to have the reduced cooldown. So immediately has increased access to it, which is really nice.
Also gets the experience from getting a kill, right? So he's even more accelerated towards that level 6 in theory.
All nice things.
Yeah, working out. As Roma does have those boots 2 completed, actually going to be answering exactly the same buy as Yukal.
It's crazy to think Nocturne was a thing before Ultimate Haste was a thing.
Yeah, Nocturne's been a thing for quite many years.
And now you have, like, you know, Hexplate, which is Ultimate Haste. You have Ultimate Hunter, and it's just now you can just spam it if you get enough stacks.
I remember when Nocturne first came out, and you'd build Wriggle's Lantern into Infinity Edge. It was a sick build. You did a lot of damage. Then you'd die very, very quickly. However,
that's part of the fun.
Wriggle's Lantern was so broken, it didn't really matter, as Rich does go all out against Casting here. Casting says, and what? And walks back to his turret. Will be Rich clearing out this wave, though, very comfortably.
Has to be a little careful, because there's a Nocturne coming over.
Yeah. Gideon is going to discover him here. And Rich may just need to get himself out of the way. Does need the flash.
Oh.
And the flash to follow. There is Willa making his way over, but Gideon might be able to grab this kill anyway. There is the Scion making his way in. Tries to drift his way over, but Rich makes it to the wall. And Scatter the Weak out from Yukal. He needs to flash. A little bit of a disaster here, but Roma will find a great angle on that Trouble Bubble. And the Paddle Star, not going to be enough. So the Bros still waiting. There is another flash in from Namgung as Andil wants to get on over here, but there's a Deadly Flourish flying on forward, and Namgung likely to die here. Scatter the Weak is going to take him down as the orb flies forward, and DRX answer that first kill from the Bros.
This is just crazy aggressive from the Bros, and I feel like Gideon's listening to me talking about the Ultimate Hunter stacks because like he flashed over that wall and I was like, yo, you're not even level 6, calm down. Now he's level 6.
Now you can flash the wall.
No, he doesn't need to. He can just ult over it.
Oh, wait. He also can't flash over the wall because...
Yeah, his flash is down.
Flash is down, yeah.
Oh, Chronicler would be so sad.
He can't flash over the wall. Disaster.
But yeah, okay, ult. This is normally when you're like, okay, now Nocturne can play the game. He's already been playing the game for some reason.
Yeah.
But you're finding windows to do stuff. It's been... No, that's what sometimes happens is you get games, you hit game 5, right? The pressure's on, teams get nervous, it becomes slow. Especially, like, think about it. So far this year, we've had slower games, right?
Yes.
A lot more in action. Already this game, it's game 5. You know, we've had slower season because of how the game's changed. These teams are just fighting. It is just see champion, kill champion.
I love it. That's what we needed.
No complaints, but
it's kind of yeah. It is weird that we're in like the Bro and Brew classic matchup, and we get just relentless aggression for basically no reason.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. All right, Hextech Dragon going to be the first one as well. So that's not going to be the soul. I wonder what the soul is going to be. I think we're due an ocean, which is a little bit sad, but can be value. And
yeah.
I'm just really curious about what these later game fights are going to look like. Because honestly, I do feel like Teddy's positioning is going to be so important.
Honestly, I'm going to say something crazy.
Oh, please.
I wouldn't mind an ocean into like a long game, right?
Oh, true.
Into like just a longer game, so it's not decided on the soul.
We would definitely be brewing.
Yeah, ocean's more of a brewing dragon. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Maximum value on the series.
Yeah, you're right. It's like it's a thinking man's soul.
Exactly.
Well,
you don't just get soul and win the game. You have to think about how do we close this out.
Exactly.
What do we do? What does Namgoon have to do to get away from this?
Crash down.
There we go.
Yeah, we have the answer to that one. Well, hopefully this isn't an Ocean Drake coming up next, as Gideon is just going to take this first dragon. Oh my God! Out of all of them. All right, what's the second most thinking man's Drake? Maybe Chemtech.
It's Chemtech.
It's got to be
We all
Chemtech.
know it's Chemtech.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, that would be the way for the first Orcs best of 5 of the season. That'd be the way for it to go. You know?
It would.
Oh, gorgeous. All right, well, we'll just have to wait 4.5 minutes before we do get confirmation on that one. But hopefully, it could be also a Cloud, which would be my favorite one.
That'd be good vibes.
Yeah. But that's more of a speedy dragon, which doesn't really fit in with the Bro and Brew mindset. As Gideon
would let them fight more.
Is watching the Grobs go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Them already gone.
Yeah, 2 of them go down. Gideon going to be able to take the last one here. As Paddlestar flies forward. Decent little stun there from the Scout of the Week, but Andil not able to get into position. And we're just chilling for the moment.
I think they heard us saying they were being very active, and they're like, oh yeah, Bro and Brew.
Yeah. They certainly locked back in. Maybe there was a coach voice. Okay. Coach voice.
You know what I find hilarious? I think there's 2 aspects to it, okay? I find it hilarious that Nocturne hit level 6 and we stopped getting action, but I think the reality is DRX realized Nocturne's now level 6, so when like, guys, respect the Nocturne. That's the reality of it, right? You're not going to go for those aggressive plays when there is a Nocturne who can just ult in.
And also Gideon reminded them that there is definitely a Nocturne in the game because he decided to do things a whole lot before level 6.
Yeah. He now has a Hexblade though, so...
He may as well just press ult for fun.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty low cooldown already.
And when this is going to be a Bro and Brew game, you may as well just make it dark to annoy your opposition.
Just flick the lights on and off.
Yeah, seriously. It's like a 5-year-old, you know, discovering what light switches.
Like Nosferatu in that SpongeBob episode. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right, well, we're pressing the button, and it's Yukal that has to use the flash to get out of the way. And the Ghost actually invests everything to avoid that. So, nicely done. We were making fun of it, and then immediately does the right thing.
Yep. Oh, Bubble was pretty close there.
Yep, Roma continuing to be frustrating as he's evened out the farm between himself and Yukal.
I think Zoe's just a very unfun champion to play against.
I would say so. But definitely fun to be in chat around because there is a lot of copy pasta that does get thrown in, which I do enjoy.
Yeah.
Now I'm going for it again. Does get knocked back, though, as Jiu in a pretty comfortable position, and Teddy not so much. Depth charge comes on through. Deadly Flourish is there, and Willa has the follow-up. Boom goes the 4th shot, and Jiu's able to lock it down. There is another Trouble Bubble connecting as 4th bullet. Will it land on Namgung? That's the question. The answer is no. Roma is going to soak it up.
Yeah, I feel like that's the sort of play you go when you have your jungler backing you up, but Gideon's ult wasn't available, and Willow was just there. Like,
yeah. And 2 plates went over to Yuko.
I think Willow was just kind of shadowing. He was like, I'm here if something happens. And then Teddy and Namgun jumped in. And he was like, oh, okay. Sure.
Thanks for that, guys.
I appreciate it. Let's tango. And there's a nice pickup there.
I just want to apologize for everyone who wanted to have a chatting experience that didn't have only Zoe spam. That was my fault.
Oh.
So there it is.
Yeah, you invited that.
I did. I will take full responsibility. As Rich, fighting against casting. You can tell this is a Brawl and Brew. We're looking at the top lane, and there are 2 tanks.
Yeah.
It's a 300 gold lead for DRX. Nothing much else to report. Minute and a half on the second dragon of the game. Then we'll find out the soul.
We always have stacks on things like, the Scion W. Like you can see next to casting's name how many stacks he has, and the Syndra stacks.
Yep.
I love if we had grasp stacks, just so we could keep tabs on which top laner.
And it should be like in bold lettering above their character.
So we just know which top laner is winning in the tanks, because like it doesn't actually matter what the health is, but and the farm is like, farm's kind of relevant, whatever, but really it's just like who got the most grasp stacks. That's what we care about. Whenever you're playing top lane tank versus tank, who got the most max health off the other tank? Yeah,
it's a very good point. We'll need to, maybe we can check in. We can have a grasp stack counter that someone could set up for us. As Paranoia goes in once again. World Ender is there in answer, but it's a decent crash down, and Magnus Storm from Nam going to hold them in position. Andel's going to go down as well. Paddle Star lands, and 2 lying on the floor 26 seconds before the Drake.
Yep, good engage there. Just instantly goes for the Aatrox. Doesn't give him any space really to kite or heal up. And the follow-up's there from the rest of the team. It felt like a coordinated attack from the bros.
Yeah.
And now looking for this dragon, and we'll answer our question. What will the soul be?
Well, 8 seconds. Willa might actually be able to make it over in time. It all kind of depends on how quickly Bro can get over there for the Drake, but it looks like they're not really prioritizing it. As Dancing Grenade flies on forward. Gio is actually pretty powerful right now. Currently ahead by about 300 gold. But still does want to get to that Ghost Blade before anything is really going to be attempted. As Rich gets out of the way, and Gio is now here, so Willa diving on over. Looks like DRX will be able to at least start off this dragon first.
Gideon doesn't have ult, so I think Bro are like tentative on contesting this.
Right now there is a lot of vision in the area for the Bros, but they're not really able to do anything about it. And Orcs.
We called it. No, we knew it.
Beautiful.
We knew it.
Well played.
Yeah.
And honestly, not even evil this time. This is not Susture. Don't put that in the chat. Do not put that in the chat. Because this was what we wanted. We wanted the gentleman's agreement. Like, take out the value of the dragon.
One dragon
to give us an honest game of League of Legends.
1 dragon each, Chemtech Soul.
Oh.
This game's going long.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here for a while. We're invested. I want to see the thinking man's League of Legends.
Yep. And I want to see Teddy beat his record for the longest game that he's played. His casting gonna get pulled underneath the turret. Trade of ultimates here between himself and Rich.
Yep. Casting just shouting coward as he runs away. I'm not sure he actually shouted that, but
I love that. It actually is so all right, well, Trouble Bubble going to connect, but I think that Andel's going to be okay for the moment. Rift Herald has just spawned, so Shelly going to be the next thing that we're going to be looking out for, and Willa already starting that one up. Roma with some information, as Namgung has to crash his way out of the way of Gio. All right, casting. Now with his Swifties completed. And Teddy and Gio just hanging out here in this mid lane. Rift Herald, not entirely sure what the status of that one is for now, but it is just down, so now I do. Shelly is now just going to be secured by Willa.
Yeah, they're neither support going Bandle Pipes, so sadly that meta has died because they made it way more expensive.
It has been nerfed into oblivion.
They hate hearing the tunes, you know.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
The Bandle tunes.
I'd probably still pay the premium for it.
It's really expensive.
Just like Bandle Pipes, man.
Yeah. Brendan does too. He was talking about his favorite song.
Really?
Yodel Over the Hill, he said was his favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was his favorite Bandle Pipe song.
I didn't actually know that one.
No, you didn't? Yeah, it's a really good one.
It's weird. I've just been playing random notes. I like the instrument.
Yeah, playing your chords?
Yeah. I don't have like a favorite Bandle Pipes band.
Oh, you don't have a favorite...
Like I assume it'd probably be the Bandle Pipers.
Oh, the Bandle Pipers,
The Bandle Pipers are pretty good.
A lot of people go to Bandle Pipers. A lot of classics, you know.
I think Yasuo is the lead Bandle Piper.
Yeah, which is interesting because
his flute skills translate.
A lot of people expect it to be all yodels.
No.
But it's a misconception.
No.
Common misconception.
Everyone is welcome in the Bandle Pipers, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Large entourage as well.
Oh, yeah. The entourage is largely yodels, though.
Yes, of course.
They are drawn to the sound of the Bandle Pipes. Wow, nothing has happened since we've had this ridiculous conversation, Fox. Like, this is the crazy part. There is a Trouble Bubble landing, but Roma doesn't quite have enough range on his Trouble Bubble. His Paddle Star. So there you go. That's an explanation of what's happening in the game. What's your favorite Bandle Pipers song?
My favorite Bandle Pipers, Rocky Road to Bandle City.
Ah, I love that one.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
We got Bandle Pipes. Rich built it.
There we go.
Yes. I hope he plays Rocky Road to Bandle City. It's a classic.
Yeah, he must be rich. He bought the new Bandle Pipes. Oh, God. Obviously, the perfect person to purchase them.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Thank you, Rich. That was beautiful.
Yep.
All right. In the meantime, the Bro have put together like a 1.5k gold advantage. That was kind of there already because of Gideon picking up the couple of kills and them having a fair bit of control. But I think that DRX are probably just casually okay with how this one's going. Probably wanting to fight around this next dragon, perhaps. We'll see what the setup's going to look like. The problem is, Teddy is just going to continue drawing beads, right? And this Tristana is going to be more and more difficult to kill.
Yeah, that's a major concern. I feel like as well, the Zoe is, I mean, not ahead, but just Zoe becomes so problematic if you can't get on top of her. And it's just the way teamfight's going to be set up, right? You have the strong front line for Bro, you're firing off the Trouble Bubbles, and it's like it's on DRX to close the distance, because otherwise you're waiting for when Bro land a Trouble Bubble, then the Nocturne comes in, your backline's threatened. So I feel like DRX are the ones who have to try and pull the trigger sooner, otherwise the fight start is favorable for Bro.
Yeah.
And as you said, the sustained damage of the Tristana is going to be there. Maybe a little later because it is a collector first Tristana, but we will see it.
Unstoppable Onslaught is going to get the flash out of Jiu. Still takes the damage. Mega Cone is going to be there, so he's not likely to die, but that's still a lot of value from casting. Did have to invest his flash.
It's also
as
really
Rich was
funny
trying to hold on to him there.
That the Bandle Pipes is given attack speed to Jin.
Hey, that does translate to extra damage, okay?
True.
But just not attack speed. All right, does manage to land that one as the anchor comes through as well from Andil. Still, casting just does not care. He's Scion. That bubble, beautifully placed. Always satisfying to get it through that particular wall.
Yep. Okay, Andil very low. Jiwoo a little low. Oh, casting's TPing in with a big shield.
Yeah, bubble goes wide, but Roma will have another one of those pretty soon. Baron just sails by casually here as Rich, finding himself very far up. As another Paddle Star going to connect here. There's another Deadly Flourish to come down. The Nocturne secures the Dragon as Will is in the back of the pit trying to get that steal off. As the curtains have been called, but all of the bullets went into casting, and he just did not care. Andil dead in the blink of an eye as Roma is going to be able to line up the Paddle Star, and that is a kill and a Drake over to the Bros.
And Bro didn't even pop the Nocturne ultimate. They saved it. They held it. They were looking for an opportunity, but Gideon was like, hey, we won the fight. We got the Dragon. We could chase down kills, but maybe be an overstep. And you know what that is? It's a thinking man's play.
Oh, yes, it is.
The play that didn't need to be made.
I feel like most people would have just said darkness in that moment. Gideon says no.
Flick the lights off and on again?
Nope.
No.
Nope. He figured it out, you know? He flicked the lights off a couple of times at the beginning. He was like, that's what that switch does.
He realized...
I do not need to know more.
He realized that by leaving the lights on, DRX would have to spend more on the energy bill.
Oh, Teddy might be in trouble here as Yukao tries to line it up. Does, of course, have Rocket Jump. So
yeah.
Never mind.
Easy to get away.
All right, well, Scion got some trees to cut down. As there's a Paranoia. Gideon just getting underneath this turret. Barrier is going to be there, though, so maybe a bit of a bridge too far. Maybe you just realized that, yeah, that button is there, and I do really want to press it.
Yeah. It's your trigger finger. Eventually it gets to you. You can't hold it there forever.
Yeah.
Have to press it at some point. Gets the barrier of Jiwoo. Jiwoo does live, though, on the back of that.
Yeah, does now have his rapid fire cannon completed. And a quick cloak there as well. So DRX is cruising along. Still 3,000 gold in the hole. And the bros feeling very confident with where the game is right now. What is this? Why do we keep looking at the tank matchup? As Rich and casting. Yep, continuing to fight. Willa moving over. Teddy.
Really
He's defending a very, very low turret.
Yeah, and with the Crystalline Overgrowth, it's one auto and it's gone. G also has rapid fire, so
he could just walk up and shoot it, is what I'm thinking. And look at this. Wanders up and shot it. There it goes.
It's easy as that.
Gold lead down to 2,000 now. As Rich pushes casting into the wall. Casting, I think, may have noticed. But that is a stretch. I'm making an assumption there, because he may not have noticed. And the Dark Sphere is connecting on the top side of the map. Yukao clears out the wave. Gold leads across the board, though, here for the bros, even if they aren't very large outside of the jungle. And now they're looking to try and answer that take as Teddy is going to get rooted up. Rocket jump, really good buffer on that one. As the curtains still being called through here, is now Rich looking for the angle, went all out onto casting, but traded the ulti, finds the Q3 though, still trying to look for it, is dodging a lot of these Qs is casting, but Rich just doesn't care, he's under the turret, and he'll take down the Scion solo bolo for the Rich man from the top lane.
Honestly, the attack speed on the Bandle pipes, you can actually see how fast
it's worth the extra money, Ox.
The value that Rich was getting in the all-in there, going pretty hard, able to get a solo kill. This is why we were looking at the top lane matchup.
Dude, he actually just did a Bandle pipe solo.
He did.
I think he must be the soloist in the Bandle Pipers.
We found him.
It's Cassante. It's been the Cassante the whole time.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, casting
he's just
not able to walk away
so fast. You don't. Honestly, I can't think of a time I've ever seen Cassante with attack speed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes hard. Being able to build a tank item that gives you that attack speed. And yeah, this is why we're looking at the top lane matchup the whole time.
Yeah, I take it all back. That's actually really sick. His attack speed was 1.52. It's, I think that's good.
That's crazy.
It's not. It really wasn't a thing. I was not expecting to be quizzed on Cassante attack speed numbers at this particular point in time. But here we are. And it's now built even more tanky items.
That's the thing.
Shoes are going to come on through, I'm sure.
That's the thing with attack speed is like, you know, when you see a number, I'm like, that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Or that's pretty slow. Or that's what an 80 carry should have. Or that's what Jin should have.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we know that Jin's doesn't move that.
1.52, that's pretty fast. That's like what an 80 carry should have.
Yeah. Jin's is 0.8. Terrible. Hopefully that improves later on in the game. But now the bros wanting to get themselves into position for soul point availability as we zoom all the way out. And the bros are considering moving over towards Baron, perhaps. Jiu is in an uncomfortable spot with a lot of bad guys around. Does have the rest of his team here. Oh, casting got pulled back, but Ox, do not worry. He has teleport shield and he's Scion.
Yeah, he's pretty chill.
He will be all right.
Roma really wants to land a big bubble.
Oh, God, Andil finding a brilliant hook onto Teddy into the backline. He gets smote. There's the all-out from the Bandle Piper himself. Now I'm going also in a rough position as the curtains get called, and Teddy, he's at safety, but the snipe is so good. And the shutdown onto Gideon as well, and DRX say, we don't need your Chemtech Dragon. We want a Baron.
And Andil, you know, he had that great game one. A little bit of a rough time in some of these games in the series, but that hook there. And this one as well.
Another one lands onto Roma. There's the scat of the week, as well as casting does manage to save his mid laner and actually does buy a fair bit of time. But I think DRX is still going to be able to get this. Unless Teddy can help out. I think Andil, actually looks to try and interrupt, but Teddy gets in the way. Paddle start does go a little bit wide.
Guys, I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm very nervous. There is no paranoia, though, so Gideon can't get over here. They're looking for the turn instead of going for this Baron. And instead, DRX are going to get nothing at all.
The classic nothing at all play.
Oh, that is beautiful. Rich even going to get interrupted.
I know.
It's okay.
Dragon's
he
still
just
up.
plays
Gideon's
his
back up. And his ult's actually nearly available.
Wait a second. Yeah, are they just going to lose Drake?
Oh, my God.
This is not how it was supposed to go. That Joker did not say do that.
DRX are getting back on the map. Rich is cheap. We're just fighting again.
All right. And Paranoia just came back up. Let's see whether they can find the angle there. It's Paranoia. It's back down once again. Deadly Flourish connects, and the unleashed power takes out the Nocturne. No more smite for this battle as Casting gets interrupted in his ultimate. Torn back as Andal, oh my god, he's bookended this series with great performances. Ignore the middle. Don't look at it. But these last two have been brilliant. These hankers, man, they are magnetic.
Finding some great angles here. DRX get back on the map. Fight for Dragon again. They have to win this Dragon fight twice, but twice they did win it, and they will be rewarded.
All right, let's see it once again. Which fight is this? This is the first
one where he sniped. How did he get that?
Oh my god!
That was crazy. That angle, and Teddy does manage to just live with Flash and Rocket Jump, but he's out the fight.
Yep.
And then everyone has to move to block him. Gideon's like, I need to get out of this, I'm gonna die. But he dies anyway, and the Rel goes with him. And then we have this goofiness with the Baron. We don't really see that. But this retake on the fight, Will is pretty tanky at this point. He gets engaged on, dashes away, tanks to fear, and then the turnaround is swift. And Casting just can't get out. The Bandle Piper's on top of him.
Yep. And he just plays his tune, and down goes Casting one more time. DRX back out onto the map, but haven't taken the Baron in the time of that replay.
It's still close in terms of gold. There's still definitely ways that Bro can play the fights and win it, but it's been some good setups from DRX. Pen coming in from the 80 carries is pretty big. Yukal approaching Rabadons. He's also gone the Blackfire Torch Cosmic Drive combo. So the Cosmic Drive gives you movement speed whenever you deal damage, and with the dots from the Blackfire Torch, it's really easy to keep it up.
Yeah.
Especially when you're into like Scion and Rel, it's like you're probably always going to have it up. Once you hit a target, it's like
land a Q, and then you've basically got Ghost and then another Ghost.
Yeah, so the uptime is really high. So Yukal hoping to just have that constant mobility on that. Roma here going for the Banshees. Well, he might just sit on the
I think the barrier.
Yeah, for the spell shield, but hard to fish for bubbles if there's a threat of being engaged on. Gideon just picked up a GA there, though.
Yeah, so Gideon is still pretty scary, just hasn't found very much value at all. And remember, he had the largest gold lead in the game in the earlier stages and died back-to-back. There's the Rabadons completed here for Yukal. That is, like, those are 3 items, man. Like, that's 3 pretty good items. So this Cinder is going to be very frightening.
And remember, it's a Chemtech Soul, and it's 2 dragons apiece. We are not anywhere near a Soul or an Elder, and we're 29 minutes into the game. So this is really that thinking man's game where they have to figure out another solution.
I'm trying to think about who plays bass in the Bandle Pipers. That's what I'm thinking. Trying to figure it out. I know that, you know, the Bandle Pipes is Rich. Like, he's the guy. But I mean, there's got to be other.
What do you think Jaime plays in the Bandle Pipers?
Oh, keys. Definitely keys. 100%.
Yeah, no, shit, actually. Why did I even ask?
Yeah, guaranteed. Like, he was actually the first one I knew was definitely a Bandle Piper.
I can't believe I asked something so stupid. I'm sorry.
I don't quite know who plays the drums. I feel like there's an obvious one for that too. I don't quite have it yet. It might be Olaf.
Olaf would be good. But isn't he in what's it?
Yeah, he plays guitar in what's the other one? Pentakill.
Yeah.
But I mean, he might moonlight. Oh, it's Karthus that's the drummer, right? Isn't it? Karthus is the drummer?
Oh, I have some bad news. So the pop-up came there for Bandle Pipes, because Namgun bought Bandle Pipes, but then refunded it and went,
oh no!
So
Rel, no, maybe he had Rel
like, officially not in the Bandle Pipes.
Yeah, they just realized that in the lore, unfortunattunly, Rel a little bit too recent. The Bandle Pipers have been around for quite a while, and
honestly, Rel could have been on like the steel drums or something. I don't know what they're doing.
Playing her pants.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing in the Bandle Pipers, but. Could have been. What could have been?
A tool-assisted Bandle Piper.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. All right, well, the Bros now getting into position around this Drake, but it's not up for another minute. Really wanted to get a crab.
Yeah. Early preparations, getting the vision set up. I think vision is key when you're playing into or with a Zoe.
Oh, Olaf was the drummer. I should have believed in myself. Thanks, chat. Yeah, Karthus was on his lead vocals.
Yeah. I did think it would make more sense for Olaf to be the drummer, but I trusted you.
Yeah, no, I should have trusted my initial thought, but I was like, I've got to be wrong. It's all right, Will.
I love your initials. Got to be wrong.
I must be wrong. I am often wrong. All right, another hook going to connect, but it's onto the Scion. I don't know whether they really want that one. Didn't know whether they wanted to push him away or bring him closer as well, as the Scat of the Week did come on through. Just ate a bunch of cooldowns, but not exactly the big ones here. So casting looking a little worse for wear, but I think there's still some fight in the Bros. 11 seconds, and it's soul point for either side. The Bros do get themselves in there, as Roma doesn't have his Verdant Barrier anymore. Another hook to start it up, but once again, it's on the Scion. And now they're looking for Namgung. Not going to be able to get any engages out of this Rel, as she is just dead. The Unleashed Power onto any target. Here says Yukal, as the Depth Charge is going to knock up the Zoe, and that is a Paranoia used in defense. And that is a white flag if ever I've seen one. DRX just free to take the Drake.
Yeah, just backing away, popping the Nocturne ult defensively, not able to find the angle, and the bubble just never connecting onto anyone they really want to commit to.
And this is one of the problems with Zoe. It's so obvious when you don't hit your abilities, because you just kind of roll over.
I mean, it's a little bit of damage onto Willa, but these bubbles keep hitting the tanks, and that's the beauty of this composition. You know, you have a K'Sante who can press W when the bubble hits. You have a Nautilus who's a support. If he dies, who really cares that much?
Yeah.
I know the support life.
And he'll probably cares a bit. That's it.
He's willing to sacrifice himself, and Namgung just gets completely exploded when he makes the mistake of existing, unfortunately. That's the truth of League of Legends as a support and pro play.
Yeah.
Gets this point in the game, and the enemy mid laner has lots of expensive items, and you just kind of die.
Yeah, and the thing that I actually really want to commend DRX on is oftentimes if you use the Unleashed Power on someone that isn't high value, it can be really good. But the Bros didn't get any value out of the Rel, right? Magnus Storm is such a big deal, and without that extra layer of frontline, they literally couldn't do anything.
You just cut the engage before it happens.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is that, you know, Bro are waiting for this pristine moment where the bubble hits the right target, Gideon can go in, they can get a big engage, they can follow up, but it's just not happening. And I think we've seen so many Zoe games where everything's gone right, and this is an example of when it's not going right.
Yeah.
And you can see how it's just feeling frustrating for the Bros. You know, okay, there's one on the Nautilus, but he queues away, there's members there to block it, there's no vision there. So what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. Because Roma is hitting bubbles, it's just there's always people there to block, or it's hitting the target who's specifically there to soak it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
or it's hitting them when there's no follow-up to be had. There's no opportunity for Gideon to go in, right?
Yeah.
It's also DRX playing well around space that's unknown, right?
Exactly.
And getting vision where they can. And this is what happens. This is the benefit of being ahead and having a tempo advantage in the game, is that you get to put wards down. And that's really important against Zoe especially.
I think also the fact that it is a Jhin, right? I know, I'm sorry to say this, I know how you feel about him, but
honestly, it's looked pretty good this game.
It's the fact that
hurts me physically.
He can sit 7-8 miles back and just doesn't ever have to be anywhere vaguely near.
Yeah. And then when, you know, you are winning the fight, he just gets to come in and shoot 4 times and reload.
Yeah. Honestly, not even sure if he needs to reload at this point.
No, he reloads in a cool way, because someone dies initially to his spells, and then he has 4 shots for the remaining people.
Yeah. But the thing to be said is, you know, it's still close in terms of gold. The soul isn't super meaningful. Teddy's starting to ramp up some big items now.
Yep.
It could just take one big moment.
Oh, Paddlestar doesn't quite connect, as Roma is slowed down. And there's the Unleashed Power. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
send him home, but isn't really doing too much more than that.
That was actually close, because he gets executed if he goes under a certain amount of health. So
yeah,
he could have actually really just died there. If there was like a little bit more damage, he would have gone down. So Roma lucky to survive.
Yukal also presses the Ghost button. Oh, there's we're practicing the combos here between Yukal and Jiu. And it is something you can actually do. You can fish really effectively with a composition like this, with the amount of long-range, non-committal CC that they have.
I think that's what makes it so effective into the Zoe as well, is that there's a lot of accountability.
Yeah.
I think there's some comps where it's like Zoe just functions and never has to be held accountable for how she plays, so she can just fire off and play really aggressive. But with this comp, I mean, there, you just had your spell shield procced, so now you have to be a bit careful when you're fishing.
Ooh, beach ball.
Okay, good poke.
Well, taking a lot of damage here, and they are immediately going in. Flash out from UCal as the paranoia does get used. There's the flash on forward. Namgung actually very far away from the rest of the team, and once again, UCal just presses an R button on him. I swear that was on cooldown, and oh god, Roma just explodes! Here is the return salvo! As Willer and Rich just bouncing around the team fight. A deadly flourish from off screen is exactly what Gio wants to do. Walks up, throws out the bullet, and even has time to reload before the Scion goes down again. DRX find a clean, almost a clean ace. Somehow Gideon makes it out alive.
And I think that might just be enough. They're looking for the end. Gideon can't get a recall either. 5 members up.
Oh man, the Bros so incredibly close to glory here in this best of 5. But unfortunately, looks like DRX are gonna put an end to it, as the inhibitor is going to go down. 5 members strong, looking to close in on these Nexus turrets. Hook is going to get flashed here by Namgung. Does manage to get the Shattering Strike onto a couple, but still, he's going to be going down. In goes Gideon, desperately trying to find a kill. Does get it onto UCal here, and that is a fair bit of the damage now removed.
Okay,
he's trying to be annoying, and there is the pullback from the Infernal Chain, so it is going to be Nocturne going down, but the GA actually is going to buy enough time to save the game for now.
That's enough. Teddy's here.
Yeah. Wants to try and find an explosive charge. Does get that. As now a teleport's coming in. Oh, never mind. Maybe we spoke the eulogy a little too early. As Anchor, Andal realizing that he's in a lot of trouble. Blast Cone comes on through. Actually breaks the CC quite nicely. Speaking of breaking CC, Willer is going to get casting out of his ulti. But Andal in a lot of trouble here. Isn't going to go down just yet, though, and there is still power here, as Rich will pull Teddy over the wall, just gets him out of the fight, convinces the Bros to let them leave, and Casting says, all right, I'm out. A gentleman's game. Because now,
indeed. And now Willis,
DRX would like to take a dragon.
Yeah, but I think Bro might be able to force them away here. Willis still hovering around.
And what is the gentleman's thing to do? Give the dragon to the Bros.
It would be.
Because they don't have as many dragons.
Yeah, that would be fair. Willis doesn't seem to want to do that, though.
Yeah, he's in the back of the pit for the moment.
Gideon's
Rich is
now
very
up,
scary.
though, but he's clearing the waves.
Okay, so the game almost ended. Instead, Chemtech Soul. Over to an Aatrox, Cassante. Yeah, scary composition. Let's have a look at how this fight went, though. This was beautifully retaliated here by DRX.
Yeah, big poke onto UCal. Makes it seem like it's going to be a good play, but you know the flash ends up turning it around. Engage comes in, but again, you're not connecting really onto the backline. Rel gets blown up, Locket comes in, backline's still alive, and they push forward. They catch Roma, importantly, and then Rich jumps on a Teddy. Teddy tries to go in to get some cleanup resets, but it's just kind of to his doom, and Casting is just in the mixer.
Yeah.
I feel like this Cassante is getting so much more value in these fights.
Rich has honestly been an absolute hero in these games for DRX. I have to say, this is one of the more impactful Cassantes and the more impactful Jins that we've seen throughout. I get a little bit anxious because sometimes they don't do a whole lot. And look at this, Dew topping the damage in this game. Ignore the second place because it doesn't make much sense, as obviously our top laners have just been hitting each other all game long. It makes that stat very confusing. As DRX now with the Chemtech Soul, pushing forward.
I mean, it was already a struggle to kill them, and we often talk about Chemtech Soul not being the most value, but
look at the items on Willa and his Aatrox.
Are like, when people say, okay, Chemtech Soul's not good, but the champions who are good with it, it's always Aatrox Cassante.
Yeah.
Those are always the champions. People say, what about these two? It's literally them. So, DRX actually getting a good amount of value from this. Rich purposely puts himself low health, and Willa, we've all seen when Aatrox goes a little bit under half health.
His health bar is a rubber band.
Yeah. Roma fishing.
We'll find the bubble onto Willa here. Thinking about looking for an angle, but
okay, I don't understand Teddy's build.
Well, he went to the shop and went to the attack damage items. Okay, Paranoia is going to get popped here. Let's see whether the Bros actually pull the trigger. So they don't quite find a way in, and Gideon was just playing with the light switch again. Just couldn't quite get it. Teddy, I think, desperate for a spell shield.
Yeah, he's got a spell shield, right? But a lot of lethality into some quite tanky targets. I keep seeing him hit Rich, and he isn't doing much damage. I'll tell you that much.
No, I never thought of Tristana as a lethality champion. Maybe because she is. But Trouble Bubble going to go wide once again here. As the Bros don't want to give this one up. Hook going to connect onto the Scion once again. Teddy, now with that rapid fire, able to get some stuff done. Not to be confused with the rapid fire cannon, as once again, another hook connects onto the Scion. This time he's actually taking real damage, as Gio can get some auto attacks down. The Magnastorm into the backline, but Namgung, where's the follow-up? No one's here! And the Paranoia's on cooldown for another 4 seconds! Oh dear. And this time Yukao didn't even have to use his ultimate.
Oh, do you go for a steal? They could end the game if this goes badly for Bro.
Well, this is kind of exactly what Zoe wants.
You also don't have vision into the pit is the problem. How do you get a look in? It might have to be casting to...
Put his body in there, let's see. Another hook going to connect though as they just turn onto the Scion. And then he's going to take some killing, but they have the time to... Oh, the unleashed power from Yukal. He finds the priority target. Casting is going to be taken down as Gideon is just launched on here by the Vandal Piper himself. It's a double for the Jin. And it's only Roma and Casting left alive. And I think Casting is a zombie right now, so he is just going to get taken out. And it's just the Zoe left skipping away.
This should be enough to end. Roma and Namgun have to try, but I just don't think it's enough. 4 members strong. Just the Nexus towers.
And we've been in this position before, but this one is looking so much more dire here for the Bros. Namgung not going to be able to do anything about this. That Nexus turret goes down for the 2nd time, and the Rel is just pulled into the blender. Roma still does have his shield, but Jiu is just so dangerous on this Jin. He'll just blow up the Nexus and use his reload timing to take down the Zoe as well. Last shot comes in, and DRX, it took them the full 5 games, but they got the win in the end.
They managed to battle through, and it felt like they were honestly losing a lot of momentum. The game 2, game 3 especially, you know, looked scary.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were feeling the Bro hype train. Game 4 was tumultuous, but this game 5 felt a lot more convincing, even if it was a bit slow at times. DRX able to claim the victory in the end.
And I didn't love the draft, but I loved how they played it.
Yeah.
Especially throughout the mid to late game, the fact that Yukal wasn't afraid to just throw his ultimate at a moment's notice and wipe out priority targets. As Rich, very happy, especially just glorious Vandal Piper performance in the last game. And Willa, he was a rock. And then he played the Aatrox really effectively in game number 5. Yukal not doing any acrobatics off the chairs this time around, was probably spoken to about that by the referee staff. As have you done a POM yet?
I'm figuring it out. I am pondering.
I mean, over the whole series, it's probably Yukal, but my heart says Vandal Piper.
That's what I'm thinking, because...
I mean, his Jack's performance was super good as well. As Andil's parents are here, and they got their value out of the ticket, and they also got the outcome that they were looking for. And that's a very stressed-looking Joker there, just at the back, walking off camera. Rich packing things up, but what an incredible day's work from that man from the top side of the map. And Ox, you still haven't made a decision. Ion's waiting.
Yeah, I think I'm going...
Just go with your heart. We know where your heart is. Just vote. It's okay. No one's going to judge you.
It's so difficult. Okay, I'm going to write it down in 5 seconds, and then I'm going to write it down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I did it.
Oh,
I did it.
I don't even know what he did. I don't even know what he did.
Oh my god.
What did you? Were you brave? Were you brave?
I did what I thought was right.
Oh no, that sounds like a no. Oh dear. Well, the Bros, it was a solid effort, and the early game went very, very well for them. But it was just the way DRX slowed down in these team fights. They hit what was in front of them. And then when all of these orbs were on the ground, look at that scat of the week.
Yeah.
That was 1 billion orbs.
That was a great scat of the week, right? That if someone voted him for POM, it would be such a great call.
I mean, honestly, I think like that's the right vote.
Yeah.
However, it's not the pipe vote.
It's not.
You know? And what's more important?
Look, he's already won several awards for his performances with the Vandal Pipers, so he's got his recognition.
Oh, that's a very good point. There's a lot of accolades. As Andal also, I mean, I don't think I told much of a lie when I said that he bookended this series with great performances.
Look, Andal, I think, had some career best and also not career best performances in this series.
Let's just say it was a valley, but the valley has high sides.
Yes.
You know? It was deep in the middle, though. G did a lot of damage.
It was a battle, and in the end of it, they got their win.
They did.
And there was 2 predictions who were also right about that. It was Pony and Prince.
Oh, it was a Prince. Aha.
I think it was Pony and Prince.
There were definitely 2 over on the Korean side that were correct. None of us voted a 3-2. I think most of us with 3-1 predictions in favor of DRX. As UCal, he will pick it up. And so my heart is broken. However, I think that this was the correct choice, especially his Taliyah game. Absolutely wonderful. Him and Andal really running the show in that one.